In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get out of a snowbank. Say you slide off the road and you get stuck. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's just kind of wafting along the road here. I'm going to show you how to get out of a snowbank, or if you're stuck on ice, by lowering the pressure of your tires, by lowering your tire pressure. Now, there's a couple of caveats that come with this. Number one, you are probably going to need one of these. Let me just drag this over here. It's a tire pressure gauge, and the one I have is a what is it? Let me just go and have a little looky here. It's off Amazon, and it's one of these manual ones. It's Joe's Racing. It's $19, and it's a manual tire pressure gauge. And the thing I like about it is it has a little button on the top that lets the air out. So what you're going to do is you're going to let the air out. You're going to see what the tire pressure is, and you're going to let maybe 5 or 7 psi out of your tires, and that's going to give you extra traction. Having said that, the caveats are you don't want to let too much air out, because you maybe then your tire may be so underinflated that once you get out of the snowbank, it might be dangerous for you to drive at any speed when you have to go to a gas station. So you also might want to have one of these little guys, and I don't have one of these, so don't feel bad. And this is a little portable 12-volt compressor. You can get it for $20 on Amazon, and I hear the ones, this is a $60 one, I think. So you'd lower your tire pressure down to what is needed to get out of the snowbank, and then you'd once you've got out of the snowbank, you'd park somewhere safely, and then just attach this to the battery terminals and pump up your tires. So that's another thing you might want. And we're talking about someone is driving possibly in the mountains a lot. Obviously if you're going to have a vehicle hopefully with all-wheel drive, snow tires, etc., etc. But there are times even with all-wheel drive and snow tires and common sense, of which obviously I didn't have during this little outing, where you're going to get stuck. And lowering your tire pressure is going to help you. Now, why does it help you? Well, I did a bit of research, and in the 4x4 community, it's common knowledge that if you go on sand, or if you go to the Outer Banks, or you go on the, East Coast where you can drive on the beach and do whatever, everybody lowers their tire pressure. Now, why do they do that? Well, it gives them more traction. Well, why does it give them more traction? Well, there's a video link I'll post where a gentleman actually has a little diagram. Basically, what the lowering the tire pressure does is it increases the surface area of your tires, because your tires now have less air in them, so the rubber kind of, so now your car pushes down more on the rubber, and the rubber just kind of stretches out more and gives you more surface area. So if you would compare a vehicle, take two extremes. Take a bicycle tire, a vehicle that say had bicycle tire wheels, kind of really narrow, ultra narrow wheels, and then take a car that would have like tank tread tracks on it. Obviously, the wider, the more area spread out over the snow, it's going to float you supposedly over the snow, and it does over the sand and over the snow as well. So that's this is my theory that I'm putting forward here. I haven't seen too many people. I guess people who go snow wheeling, as it's called, which is like four-wheeling in the snow, which they do here in the US, because you can pretty much drive in the snow in the open spaces and stuff, which you can't do, I guess, in Europe. They also there's talk that there's a gentleman, I don't know who these dodgy buggers are as well. There's a lot of dodgy people walking around when we went skiing. And this is what this video is, by the way, in the background, and you're going to see us get stuck shortly. People, when they go snow wheeling, there's a gentleman who actually lowers his tire pressure down to 5 psi. Now, I think you probably have to have special tires in order to do that. A regular tire in a family sedan lowered to 5 psi, you're probably going to mess your tire up, just because the weight of the actual strength of the tire is not going to be able to support the vehicle. These off-roading tires have very strong sidewalls, etc. So anyway, so let me cut to the chase here. So as you can see, we've been driving on this road. It's pretty flat. There's some pretty big snow drifts around, and we came across a 4x4 pot by the side of the road, and I was like, okay, we'll just keep on going, and we did keep on going, and we eventually got stuck. So you'll see now in about T-3, 2, 1 seconds. We'll slow it down now. Let's slow it all down. So there's a lot of wind up here. This is near Netherlands in Colorado, a lot of wind. So you can see here's the first, actually it's just a 2-wheel drive. No, that is a 4-wheel drive vehicle. So here's the first snowdrift. So we actually managed to make it through there. We had a bit of momentum, which is great. So it's not bad. We're in a all-wheel drive Audi, and it's got some good snow tires. It has a good differential. I mean, the actual height of the car is pretty good. So we zoom down here, and as you will see, there's another vehicle by the side of the road up here. It's a Honda Pilot, so it's not a big macho 4x4, but it didn't go through this next snowbank where we got stuck, just because the snow was not soft. If the snow was soft, we could go right up to the bonnet, the hood of the car, and just push through it. But it was very kind of hard packed, kind of solid snow, and this is where we got stuck. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. You know how it is. You know how it goes sometimes, lads, don't you? We're thinking with our little head, not our big head. And there we have it. We were stuck, and that was it. We were stuck. So I have a shovel, and I was like, okay. I didn't even think about lowering the tire pressure at this stage, and I have a shovel in the back, a snow shovel. I was like, okay, I'll just dig it out, and it'll probably take a little while, but I'll just dig the snow out. Another problem is if you have a car that has a lot of torque, even if you have all-wheel drive and not necessarily traction control, this is what I figured out about this car, is that it has so much low-down torque that as soon as you touch the accelerator, the wheels almost spin. So there's no what's the word, kind of traction control where it spins the wheel slowly first. You get that instant torque, and it just spins immediately, and you'll see it in one of these videos, and it's kind of interesting. You'd think the differentials would kind of stop that from happening, but I just think it's just a function of the older all-wheel drive locking differential systems. It does have locking differentials. So anyway, I'm going on here, but anyway, this is the footage, and next you'll see me ranting and raving on camera with my stupid tire pressure gauge, and I apologize that I've wasted 7 minutes and 7 seconds of your life that you'll never get back. But I told you this is going to be goddamn long-winded, so there you have it.
Okay, Richard, what's going on?
We got stuck. Why did we get stuck?
Why did we get stuck?
Because we're stupid bastards and we think we can drive through the deep snow. But, come closer.
It's just you, it's not me. I said you should stop.
We're trying the old four-wheeling trick. We're lowering the tire pressure to give the tires more flex and dig. We're lowering them from 32 to 25 psi. Let's see what happens.
So I dropped down the tire pressure down to 25 psi. I think it was I was running like 32. So it's not a whole lot. I didn't want to do it too much, otherwise I wouldn't be able to get home because I didn't have a compressor. I went back and forth a couple of times, dug a bit more snow out. And also I was being really, really easy on the transmission because this is how I trashed the transmission last time. So as you can see, finally, after one large hurrah, I managed to get out. And you can see the snow's not that deep, but anyway, I think lowering the tire pressure definitely did help. I was definitely getting more traction.
5 psi. And the rule of the game is, you think with your smart-ass, fancy all-wheel drive car, you think you can get through some snow that's... How deep was this snow? Let's go through what we had here. Was the snow ankle, just above my ankles? But if it's snow-packed and you sink in, you don't have the ground clearance, you are well and truly screwed, my friend. There you have it. So the interesting thing is, if you look underneath here, okay, we got about, how much clearance have we got? How much clearance is that? You can see here. I don't know, 6 inches? No. 5 inches of clearance. So, but if you look at these other vehicles, these guys either didn't attempt or I assume they turned around, didn't make it over that little bit of snow. But if you look at their clearance, that back thing there is probably not very much higher than my goodie. So I don't see the advantage of an SUV in the snow, apart from having low range and all that crap. Because look at that's not much higher than my car, the lowest part of this car. And see the exhaust hanging down there? I mean, okay, this is a Pilot, but anyway.
Okay, so it's probably not very fair to compare a Honda Pilot as the ultimate snow machine, but I mean, you get the idea. I mean, you see these massive race trucks get stuck in snow, and there's the one guy who did lower his tire pressure down to 5 psi. Man, he had some kind of crazy, ultra low rock crawling Jeep that he was going through snow, and it wasn't like he was going through feet of 2 feet or 3 feet of snow. I mean, he was probably going through maybe 8 inches of snow. He has $1,000 a piece tires and crazy differentials and stuff. So snow is pretty, it can stop pretty much anything, except if you have one of those the polar edition of Top Gear. They raced to the North Pole, or the actual magnetic North Pole, or wherever it was, and they had these massive tires on. And I mean, then you can literally go over, you can go over anything, any snow or anything in your vehicle. The tires are about $4,000 each. They're these massive balloon-like tires. But anyway, so thanks for listening, watching this video, and hopefully you've learned something. And the next time you get stuck in the snow or ice, make sure you have a tire pressure gauge and you have a way to inflate your tires afterwards, or just try deflating them just to 5 or 6 psi. I mean, I wouldn't go anything. You could go to 20 psi probably and still make it home okay. You can't obviously drive too fast at 20 psi, but anyway, there you have it. This is another long-winded, convoluting DIY how-to video by Jacana Productions.
In this space.